Danny and Zach's reactions on Top Gun. That classic. It's so good. I think it's awesome. Like, it's just like one of those like quintessential 80s movies. Directed by the late Tony Scott. That's Ridley Scott's brother.
Nice.
Wow, I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. He also directed Troy, which I don't know if you can kind of tell in some of the styles, but it's
He did Troy, or did Ridley Scott do Troy?
I thought Tony Scott did Troy. That's what I thought. But as I looked that up and confirmed
To the internet.
to the interwebs, as I go through, so what Zach got to see the first thing that comes into mind when the movie plays. You get the gong, like the bong, and the theme starts playing. Like
Well,
as it loops, like many other themes in the movie, just loop over and over and over. What was the first thing you noticed in that little synopsis?
It wasn't me. It was someone. It was my cousin's fiance that noticed it, and I just took the picture. That the opening text misspelled the word insure, or used the wrong spelling of the word insure.
INSURE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of ENSURE.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
that's it. You pointed that out. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot just how bad that is. Yes. And
then you looked it up too.
I looked it up, and
when we were watching it.
Yeah, I sent the screenshot to the group chat here that we're in. It says, all I did was look up Top Gun intro typo. And the first thing that pops up from Reddit says the opening to Top Gun 1986 incorrectly used insure instead of ensure.
Nice.
nice. Yeah. You wanna insure
He wants to
insurance.
insure the pilots.
Yeah, it's $30 million planes that they're flying at the time. Side note, it was Wolfgang Peterson that directed Troy. So
Troy?
You guys
I
are
sit
way
on this
off.
So it's neither
comfy
of
ass
them?
couch corrected.
Neither of them?
So neither of them.
Nice.
I don't know why I kept thinking they had something to do with that movie.
Oh, because I think, did Ridley Scott do Alexander? He
no,
did one of those. I could have sworn he did one of those.
He did Gladiator, but
I know that.
Alexander was what's this guy's name? Oliver Stone. It's different.
Interesting.
Anyway, so yeah, after that weird glaring typo, it hit you right with the aircraft carrier and the danger zone, right?
It was a good opening action sequence.
Yeah, right. They got the MiG, and they're like, oh my god, and what's his name?
This
is
guy
freaking
having
out.
a heart attack.
Yeah, he had a panic attack
Yeah.
up there. Like, oh my god, my life, like flashing before his eyes, and then Maverick goes to save him, and then he does the infamous inversion,
Flick him off.
and then Goose taking the Polaroid. That guy must have been looking like, the hell are these? What?
I have kind of a nitpick of that scene actually. So
Oh, go for it.
the jets have these super tall tail wings.
Mm-hmm.
So how could he have gotten that close without the tail wings?
Smacking. The MiGs have only one tail wing, and the F-15s have two. He's
guess.
that good. He's that
I
good.
guess,
Don't
but-
you question it.
Exactly.
Right threading the needle.
Exactly.
Shut your mouth. Yeah.
Okay, then that might have been something that I didn't notice from Maverick's jet, but
Yeah, because the F-15s, they would do it. So 2 meters, it's just like, okay, we're going to thread it in there and be a real...
1.5.
Yeah,
1.5 meters.
1.5 meters. Be a right prick about it, which is great. And so funny, did you notice, since you had just recently watched Back to the Future, the commanding officer was
Strickland.
the principal?
Strickland.
Principal
Oh, it was?
Strickland? Yeah, bald head and everything.
I
I'm
didn't
surprised you didn't call
I
Maverick a
didn't-
slacker.
yeah,
Okay,
I thought he was
slacker now. Yeah, now that
You're
now
a
that
reckless
you
slacker,
mentioned it,
McFly, McMaverick.
Make Maverick.
McMaverick.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I can see that now. Yeah,
Yeah, you can see it because it's there.
Because it's there.
It's because it's there.
Yep, 100%. And then the guy who played Goose ended up going to be an ER, so that's fun. But anyway, I got ahead of myself. Yeah, that's a cool opening sequence, and they're like, "You're going to Top Gun because what's his name can't handle it." I forgot his call sign, but it was
You're
like,
in trouble, but you're promoted at the same time.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're going because he couldn't hang
Yeah.
it, he couldn't hack it, so you're going, and he goes there. Kind of, it's
was
great
it like
because
Cougar or something? I don't know.
I think it was
Cougar,
one of those.
yeah.
It
might
was
have been
Cougar. I feel like, yeah, Maverick is already going, as you find out later in the movie, with a chip on his shoulder, which is why he flies so crazy recklessly. But the cool thing, I don't know if you guys knew that, is I don't know if they contracted Boeing, but one of the little trivia nitpicks I got to see that was really nice is that they were able to like redesign certain things about on the planes in order to mount cameras so that they can have the shots that they have throughout the movie.
Yeah, the visuals looked great. I mean, for you guys said
86.
86,
86.
Mhm.
like it's top notch for
Yeah.
86.
I mean, all of it was pretty much practical.
Yeah, no, it's really cool. And
A lot of like GoPro esque kind
Yeah.
of shots.
Which gets me excited for Top Gun Maverick.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did something similar, and I think they had to do. Didn't they give like? I think they trained all the actors how to
like actual training.
use the camera. Well, they trained them in
Yeah.
the jets, but they trained them like how to have the cameras and where to put the cameras on the jet.
so they
'cause
could
they're
direct
essentially-
themselves.
They're essentially
And-
filming themselves while they're doing their training. So
Now, do all the actors know how to fly?
yeah,
They have
in
to,
this movie or in the second one.
No,
In the second one.
upcoming one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I figured they did lots of training because they said they shot 800 hours of footage.
There's a video
So-
online that shows like some of the training they did.
Yeah,
I don't think they
Yeah.
actually learned how to
They didn't-
fly, but they learned how to.
They have to learn to use the controls properly so it's
Yeah.
accurate. Even though like there's other things that are inaccurate, like they use the term bogey a lot of times inaccurate. Like there's so many bogeys around us. It's like really, like it would actually be either bandits or hostiles, but that's a different story.
Isn't bogey for missiles or something?
Bogey is a designation for like just it's not like because you have a bandit just like an unidentified. I forgot there's something for friendlies, and then you have hostile. Like okay, you have like how many hostile MiGs? Like it would be hostile MiGs. They said bogey MiGs. It's like no, it's hostile MiGs. But yeah, there's things they get a little wrong. There's things they get right, but it's cool. Like I like that they still go like Top Gun is they stay presented as like this is a flight school, so they're in a classroom for good portions of it. And then before he gets to school though, they go to that bar to celebrate that they're there, and Maverick has the great idea of just hitting on the hottest woman in the room, which then turns out to be his
karaoke.
instructor.
Yeah.
And then they do a whole little karaoke thing. It's like, oh, I think she's missing the light, or they do a little cheese on. He's like, no, I think she's got it. Like the goose is like, oh my god, really? Like we're gonna do this again? And they get into it, and then like the whole bar just joins in on the karaoke bit, and she's just like, oh, it's so cool, I love the song, but don't quit your day job. I hope you're a good pilot because you're a bad singer. He's just like, damn. Yeah, he got bonesawed like twice in that whole interaction.
And then she shows up as the like instructor type.
She has a PhD in astrophysics, so a lot of the maneuvering, it's like I have this backed by science. And Maverick's this guy like goes off a feeling, and then she's like talking about like, oh, no one's ever seen a MiG. It's like I've seen a MiG, and then he tells the whole story, and she's like, this is some BS. And what's funny is Iceman, played by Val Kilmer, when he goes bullshit like that's improv. So like half the crew laughing is legit.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he tells the whole story, and she's like, oh, so you're the one. It's you. And she's just like,
I think from there she's like, oh,
Pretty much.
I love you.
yeah, I love you.
You know what happened at that moment?
She got her breath taken away.
Which that song played
Like
100
5
times.
Yeah.
No, it looped like that song by that whole melody by Berlin just loops forever and ever. Yeah, that's a thing. And he flies around.
I
in
mean,
his-
the whole soundtrack was looped. It was like three songs. It was Danger Zone, that one, and then like the actual Top Gun theme.
How can you forget Playing with the Boys? They were playing that volleyball game
In the volleyball.
And
Yeah.
they were playing with the boys. Bah! And then they're just playing volleyball and
And how many
They-
times did they do their signature like high five?
high five like 3
The
times
high
because
five and
Their
no-
high five,
no
and then jeans in the sand.
in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, what is Maverick doing playing with jeans on like in this random sand pit? But whatever. Weird thing is I remember watching the movie and like when I was a kid, I was like, man, these guys are jacked. Now I watch them, I was like, hey, these guys ain't jacked. Like, what is this? Like, they're not jacked at all. They're just lean. Like, I thought they were like massive for some reason, but no, it's just kind of like they're just
Not
randomly
massive,
playing.
but in very good shape.
Yeah, they're in solid shape, and they go 1-1 in the game, and they're like, "No." Goose is like, "Come on, man, we gotta go. We gotta win it." And he uses that to leave his bro for Kelly McGillis.
He's like,
Because-
I gotta take care of something.
Yeah, he's like, "No, I'm sorry, I gotta take care of something." Like,
and he was late.
Nice.
yeah, and he was late because he was too busy whooping on these boys while playing with the boys.
One thing I noticed with the Top Gun Maverick trailer now, there's a scene where he's riding the motorcycle on the strip almost
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
next to the jet leaving,
Yep.
That was also in the first movie,
Yep.
and it's pretty cool how they.
Yeah, that's why when I watched the trailer, I was like, they're doing the thing
Yeah.
again. Now you're doing it. You were watching it like, wait, I don't know what this is.
And he's like,
But I saw it the other way around. Like I saw the trailer first, and then I saw this one, so that was pretty cool.
yeah, me too. Wait, when I saw that shot too, I thought the same thing. Like, oh, it's like in the trailer.
In the trailer.
Yeah. And so like all the sequences when they're in so what did you guys like about the first sequence where they were flying and they end up like doing the simulated kill on the instructor and they're like, oh shit, like they're good.
Yeah.
Like you even see the instructor's like, what the hell? Like this guy actually knows how to fly.
Michael Ironside.
Michael Ironside as Jester.
Oh yeah.
And then we got the guy with the coffee,
Oh man.
spilling the coffee the whole
Yeah,
movie.
That's one of my favorite
The
scenes in
ACC.
the entire
Can I go for a
movie.
flyby? Nope.
That's one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie. This is Ghost Rider requesting a flyby. He's like, negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. He's like, well, this guy. And he just buzzes the tower. Apparently, if you buzz the tower like that recklessly, they're just like, nah, you're done. Like you're grounded for like your career
Yeah.
because it's like that's hella reckless. Yeah, the fact that and then what's funny is after his reaction afterwards, he's like, I want somebody's butt. I want some butts. And then like he bumps into this guy and gets spilled coffee. He's like, again.
It's
He's
like 10 of them. Yeah.
yeah, he's like, I need some butts. Like, it's just the out of context. He's just yelling he needs some butts. I'm like, okay. Like,
And he cannot lie.
he can, yeah, he's just Sir Mix-a-Lot as a naval flight.
Now we need to
person.
see coffee spilling in Maverick.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm
watch
sure
it.
there will be.
Watch Maverick get coffee spilled on him since he's technically now an instructor. Or, what's his name? John Hamm.
Maybe.
John Hamm gets coffee spilled on him. That'll be great.
He gets ham done.
He gets him done. Yeah, so then that's more of the understanding of like, damn, like Maverick's out here doing some wild stuff. And he gets Tom Skerritt's attention, who's Viper, like the head instructor, and he's just like, hey, you gotta follow orders. If you do that again, you're out. He's like, oh, that's my one warning.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's more of that. You were mentioning like all the bro tension between Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Stare down.
All the time. Even they're in class and they're talking about
Yeah,
theory.
just-
He's just like,
Or even the first time they meet, it's just, you could tell Val Kilmer sitting on the side and then just Tom Cruise just looks straight at him. Like,
Hollywood.
Or when he's looking for, he's like, I'm looking to see who's the best.
yeah.
Yeah. And he's just like, look, trying to just find the toughest guy in the room and just stare him
I
down.
was like, that one. Okay.
That guy, Iceman. And then he's not that great at volleyball. But he's a decent pilot. But then, we get more of the whole tension between instructor and Maverick. So you get Charlie and Maverick doing their whole thing. And then we find out Goose is married and he has a
Yeah,
kid.
we get a backstory with Goose.
That's
and,
really cool. Meg Ryan's his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty dope. Yeah.
Get some piano playing.
Yeah. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I don't know why, but that scene always cracks me up.
Yeah, I think he was fake playing the piano.
He definitely
Yeah,
was
he
fake
was for
playing.
sure.
Yeah.
He's
For
not
sure.
John Cena actually playing the piano. Who can do that, by the way? He's legit.
I'll never know
In,
because
in
I can't see him.
Peacemaker.
In Peacemaker, that was him playing Home Sweet Home. Yeah. But what's cool is, this is a flash forward now to Maverick. That little kid ends up being Rooster, which is funny because
He looks very similar to Goose.
yes, like he's got the mustache and everything,
It
the
was a good
spiked
casting.
hair.
It was a good casting. I
And
think.
Miles Teller looks a lot like it. And what's funny is his call sign is still a bird.
Yeah, Rooster Goose.
Rooster Goose. I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on there. But I don't know. It's kind of weird that like when you watch the movie now, because that's one of the other more pivotal moments is the part where you have the training accident that takes Goose's life.
Yeah.
I find it still weird that he blames Maverick for that when it was I think it was Iceman that pulled away and caused like a jet stream to have them spin laterally, and then like burnt out his engine, and then they got stuck. So I was like, it's messed up. Like like, hey kid, like that's misplaced anger. Like
Yeah.
you have a chip on your shoulder, but we won't find out, I guess, till Maverick, right?
Actually, that was something that I wanted to mention too. Was that watching the trailer for Top Gun Maverick, where Rooster mentions how my father trusted you or whatever it was that he said in the trailer. I'm like, wait, so does that mean that his dad died or something? And then
you're like,
And we saw it.
oh, there you
okay,
go.
so that's why he says that in the trailer.
Well, at first I didn't notice. Like I saw that they both ejected, but I didn't notice that he hit The,
Oh,
he-
you didn't notice
he
that?
insta-dived
like
I noticed that right
Yeah,
away.
I
it's
saw
like the
it.
canopy didn't completely.
yeah, I saw
because
it
they were
happen.
spinning
off, yeah.
laterally.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw it happen, and then I didn't process until like they got into the water, and I was like, oh, okay. I see
yeah,
what
he
happened.
did. Yep. And he kept his dog tag. That's why he was just like,
Yeah, like
"Goose."
And then-
even
And then threw it away later.
like he
and
already
threw it,
knew. Like Tom Cruise
the
already knew.
Diamond of the Sea or the
By,
Heart of
like
the
by
Sea.
the time he like went after him in the water, like he already knew.
yeah.
And that's why when later they show like the admiral or whatever I forgot his rank, but the head of the school like tells him like he's dead. He's like, yeah, I already know.
Yeah, he's like, he didn't know. He's like, I knew that. Yeah. And so, yeah, like, Maverick has this whole arc of this, like, is the flying reckless, because that was the whole thing with Iceman too. Iceman had his like the sights, and he's like, dude, take the shot. He's like, no, I need more time. He's just like, and they were both hella frustrated with Iceman like not taking the shot. Like, this
Yeah.
is the pattern. Like, come on, do it. And because the lesson before, he went away from his wingman to try to chase after Viper, and then Jester came from behind and took out Maverick in the simulation. He's like, boom, you're dead.
Yeah.
And then he gave him the famous line of like, that's some of the best flying I've ever seen, right up to the part you died. And he just gives him that lesson. It's like, never leave your wingman. Again, Michael Ironside with the cool ass delivery. But those are lessons he takes with him, and he has this like low point where he wants to quit, and
Yep.
his girlfriend's kind of like, oh, I'm going to Washington D.C., but trying to get him out of the slump, but he's just too into it, and he ends up talking to Viper, and who turns out he knew his dad. Again, the whole chip on his shoulder is kind of gone because he lets him know like, hey, your dad did everything by the book. He wasn't disgraced pilot or anything like that. So, there's
we get a little backstory, which was nice.
yeah, and so again, more things to take into the sequel. The flying sequences are cool, but then you get this international incident that after graduation from
On
Top Gun.
graduation.
Yeah, it's
For
like
real.
international incident.
Congratulations, guys, but it's like
Yeah,
you can't
come
celebrate your
on.
graduation. Like, you
We're
have
gonna-
a mission.
Yeah, we got a mission. It's 1, 2, 3. Like, let's go. And they just roll call everybody. And how messed up was it that instead of going, they lay out the mission and like they give everybody their specific roles to play.
Mhm.
That Iceman goes straight to command. Is like, are you sure about Maverick? Instead of like going to Maverick himself and be like, hey man, are you sure? Like
Yeah.
looking back, I was like, that's kind of a dick move.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was kind of a dick the whole movie.
I know,
Except
but
for
like,
that one scene where he like said, "I'm sorry."
yeah. Except for
He's like,
that
you
was-
could be my wingman
Huckleberry.
anytime.
Oh, no, that's another
No,
movie.
that's watch Tombstone. No, so that's no. Then he goes, no, you can be mine. I was like, what? Like
He's like, that's the same.
that's the
thing.
same thing.
I
my
think
guy.
he meant like, nah, like I'm better than you.
I'm better than you. You
Yeah.
can be mine. Yeah, I got 3 kills. You only got 1, which I got ahead of myself. What did you guys think about that last sequence? Like that whole like, oh my god, there's 5 planes out here, and it's the
5
whole-
against 3 or
Yeah.
5 against 2, and then
Well, it's 3, and then became 2.
yeah.
'Cause-
Well, I mean, it was 2
It was
first,
2, and then they're
waiting
like,
for
shit, and they're like, man, we got a
We're
bunch,
getting
we got a bunch
overloaded.
of bogeys
yeah,
over here.
and then we
Yeah.
need to send Maverick. So then Maverick goes, but on his way, I think
One of the
one
guys gets
goes
shot
down.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
they eject, but they got shot.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's interesting.
so. Then it's 5 against 2 again. Still,
Yeah.
And at the time after the graduation, when they gave them when they called out the names of the people who were going on the mission, there's like Maverick, and they didn't even have like his
partner.
partner.
They
He was
told
like,
him.
yeah, they told him we'll give you somebody when you get to your plane. Like,
Get to
it's like,
plane,
they
it's like,
didn't even
what?
pick one yet.
It's like you couldn't give me any of the graduates too.
It was
No.
probably I bet you the nobody wanted to be with. It. Like, I
Yeah.
don't want to be with this guy who's still
Kind of
not
losing it.
acting right.
Yeah, he's kind of losing it, not sure of
But
himself.
then they ended up picking Tim Robbins. So.
Yeah, it's the same guy who was Cougar's RIO, the
Mhm.
radar person, from the beginning of the movie, which is
Merlin.
really cool. He's
Yeah.
call sign Merlin, and he's just telling like, dude, you gotta come back in, man. You gotta go back in. I'm just like, Andy Dufresne is telling you to get back into the fight, and that's a Shawshank reference. I don't think you guys know about that.
No.
Nope,
Oh, man,
they don't know about Shawshank.
that's a great movie.
It's Andy Dufresne telling Tom Cruise how to fly a plane. So
San Watanabe.
so Wataneho. Yeah, so again, like how, like from a technical standpoint, like you were mentioning before, like, hey, like the shots are really cool. Like that last sequence is really well done. Like, I don't know what you guys thought about that too. Like him taking out like 3 planes, Iceman taking out 1, like
It was
That's
good
cool,
teamwork.
right?
Like
Yeah.
all the training paid off.
Mhm.
You see like everything that they've learned and kind of gone through.
He pulled the brake maneuver again, or he's just like,
Yeah, it
whoop.
just goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes up and back, and he's like, suck it, kid. And that Mig's like, no, dead. Gone, bodied. And then it's funny because then at the end of it, when I watched it as a kid, I never paid attention to the dialogue because they get to a point where like, we did it, yeah, Maverick, Iceman, you're the best, whatever. And they land back down and they give him the rundown as like, oh, you're the most famous pilot in the country. The other side, they don't say who, but it's like, oh, the other side's denying it ever even happened.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to risk international incidents.
Mhm.
But we know what happened. Like, you're the best. What do you want to do now? You got free reign. And what does Maverick say?
Want to be a teacher. Maybe come back and teach.
He's just like, God help us all.
Top Gun.
Yeah, he goes, Top Gun?
Top Gun.
God help
Top
us
Gun.
all. Ha ha. And then, Strickland.
Slacker.
Yeah, Strickland gives him the slap on the shoulder. And
And then we get the music again.
then we get the.
Take my man. Oh no, the other
No.
one. The other one. The other one.
It was, I think it's Cheap Trick. It's the song by Cheap Trick.
I was just waiting for the sixth time of Take My Breath Away.
away. Boom, boom. Yeah, that soundtrack is again legendary, just because of all the ridiculousness. But I personally like it. Always, what the main anthem always stuck with me because they have the whole like the full version has a guitar. It's like
Yeah.
the guitarist from that Billy Idol used a lot for his stuff, and
Oh, nice.
the guitar solos hella cool. Like
It's like a very 80s guitar solo.
yeah, it's dope. I don't know. We can't play it because I don't think we have the license. I don't want to get like hit with a copyright infringement. But whatever music service you have, look it up. It's just Top Gun original motion picture soundtrack. It'll be the Top Gun anthem. You'll obviously see Danger Zone and Take My Breath Away, but you also have Playing with the
And
Boys.
That's it. There's 3 songs.
No, there's don't disrespect Playing with the
Another
Boys.
one that played a lot. You probably won't remember it now until you hear it. I think it's called Memories. It's like
Yes.
an original.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, it was like
Boom, boom. Yeah, that's
like the sad one.
That's the sad theme.
Yeah.
Yes, that plays like at least 3 times.
Yeah. It was always right after Take My Breath Away.
It seems like there wasn't enough music budget. It's like they had to reuse
Oh, no, there
the
was
same
enough.
like 5.
There
when
was
you-
enough.
But when you look back at it, it's like, but did they really need other songs? Because
I think it that those
Probably not.
5.
Anthony has a point. I'm sorry. Like you,
I
just,
mean, they could have honestly. I wouldn't have minded if they just played "Highway to the Danger Zone" the whole entire movie. Like,
it's just dangerous.
like every
just-
time they start playing the beginning, I'm like, wow, this is the 4th time.
It was good.
I thought it
Good
was
soundtrack.
bad in Back to the Future where they play like "Power of Love,"
Power of Love, like
3
only
times,
3 times.
in the first like 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, because they played it in the opening credits, and then they played it in the tryouts, and then they played it like at the end of the movie.
power.
But yeah, you got another piece of 80s education right there.
Yep.
And the common thread being Principal Strickland. That's my
There you
favorite
go.
part of it. Is just hey, the principal's there. Yeah, man. So overall, if you had to give it a popcorn watch list score, out of one popcorn box being throw the popcorn, it's stale, to 10 being I need to order a million more of these.
I think the one would just be the kernels.
Just the
popcorn
kernels that
yeah.
never popped.
The sucky
Yeah,
kernels.
yeah.
Yeah.
That just got stale. You can't even nuke them. Okay, to 10 being the best popcorn you have with
With
whatever toppings
lot
you
of
personally enjoy.
A lot of
What would you give it?
how many Need for Speeds will you give it?
What level of the
I-
danger zone are we talking about?
Well,
here?
let me just talk about some things that I didn't like
Do
in
it.
the movie.
Oh, go for
before
it.
I give my score.
Do it.
So, one thing would be that I felt like there wasn't a lot going for the story.
Yeah, it was pretty simple.
It's pretty bare bones.
Yeah.
Yeah. To hotshot pilot needs to show that he's not the most hotshottest. Learns responsibility and lessons from flying reckless, but
Yeah.
trusts himself in the end and trusts others, and saves the country and other people from an international incident, and grows to be a better person for it through loss, and learning.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it's really bare bones.
But
It's an 80s
it
movie.
still,
With full jets.
it still wasn't great.
Yeah,
it
a
was
lot of movies in the
okay.
'80s were like that. It's like, here's a story,
Yeah, it's
boom,
very
boom, boom,
cheesy.
done.
Yeah, very very typical 80s cheesy. Yeah, it was okay.
Great cheese. Though.
And there wasn't a lot of like the only character development we got was Goose. I think.
Damn, really?
Damn.
Not even Maverick that I just laid out for you
Like
right there.
okay,
The
like
whole
some,
story.
yeah, like some Maverick, but still, like I feel like maybe Goose had a little bit more going for him.
Yeah,
But-
Meg Ryan.
Not even Iceman, a guy who decided like, hey, I'm gonna actually learn to trust the crazy
His-
hotshot pilot.
His arc is that he becomes
His-
Batman later. That's his arc.
No, he becomes Jim Morrison and then Doc Holliday.
Exactly.
I think Iceman's story arc was just like, okay, he's like he's the cool guy. He's the not the bully, but he's like, yo,
He's like the jock of the
he,
group.
he's very
Yeah.
like egotistical.
The jock of all the jocks.
Yeah.
they're
he's
all
the
jocks.
jockiest jock.
and at the end he's like, I'd be happy to be your wing, or whatever I don't know what the hell he says. I'd be happy to be your wingman or whatever it was.
You could be my
You could be
wingman
my wingman
anytime.
anytime.
Yeah, that.
Super hug.
And then bro hug.
Let's go play volleyball on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Exactly right. You're starting to learn. You already know.
Skins versus skins. All right.
Sunglasses versus mustaches.
So what's your overall
10.
score? Dune.
Are you close to the 6.9 that IMDb has? I'm not really sure what the
Rotten Tomatoes score is?
meta
I'm-
score is.
I'll pull that
No,
up
I
while
think
he's
it's a
guessing.
57.
on
I think it's a
Rotten Tomatoes.
57 on Rotten Tomatoes.
And then like an 83 audience.
I would have to
Sounds about
say, I think those two were really like those two things were my bigger negatives about the movie. I really hope that the second one has a lot more character development, growth, and all that stuff. I'm gonna have to go with a 6.5.
All right.
Fair enough.
Pretty good.
Nice.
I think a 6.5 is fair.
All right.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I embraced the cheesiness.
Good for you.
Loved the soundtrack.
Oh, one more thing I should also mention is the acting was a little. But,
Yeah, it had
in
its-
a lot
it-
of parts. It was kind of like
It had its moments on the acting, but
yeah.
And you have
I
to understand
understood it just
yeah.
because it was the 80s.
exactly. So back
Yeah.
then, having those like 3 or 4 songs in the movie, just keep replaying. That was probably normal back then. So
Yeah,
people watching it when it came out probably didn't think it was cheesy. They're just like, oh yes, the 4th time I get to hear. it."
I love Kenny Loggins.
I'm gonna go.
Caddyshack.
I'm gonna go more IGN with this, so maybe like a 7.5.
Just so when in doubt, 7.
That's like
Um,
always putting
7
C on
GN.
like a Scantron test.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's like it's just put
right
C
down the middle. It'll work.
it's pretty solid.
You're right 25% of the time. So.
all the time.
all the time. 60% of the time it works. Every time.
But
All right.
glad we both got to see it right before Maverick, because we're gonna see it in IMAX, real IMAX.
The
Real
real
IMAX,
IMAX.
guys.
So
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna be exciting.
That's gonna be it,
So yeah,
man.
we'll get that review to you in a few weeks.
Hopefully, yeah, we'll get that out there. With that being said, I'm glad you two liked it a lot. It is a classic. You can now say that you've seen one of the classics.
Mhm.
Going down Tom Cruise's filmography there, that's where it really picked up and kind of, amongst other movies, really cemented
I
him.
guess
as
you can
the
say
lead
it's
man.
taken off.
Oh yes, yeah. Did it? But
Nice.
it didn't take your breath away. It seems.
No.
Just it really put him in the danger zone of Hollywood A-list. Just kept him going. He was playing with the other boys of that A-list. I'm gonna keep going. No, I'm stopping. I swear to God, I'll stop. But that's awesome. I'm really glad that you you took the time, got to take in. Hopefully all the listeners and the viewers can understand and can relate to some of the things that you guys saw. The cheesiness, the goods, the ups and the downs, the inversions, the
Incursions.
incursions,
Twisty McFisties.
the flybys, the buzzings. That guy got hit with 3 times with coffee, by the way.
3? I thought it was 2.
It was like
It was
I
like
think it was
3
just-
times. No, it was
twice.
it was the
It's like
it was
the
no,
cabbages guy.
No,
They're better.
Yeah, it was-
my cabbages.
my cabbages.
Oh, one thing I also wanted to mention too, something that I brought up during the movie. So during the graduation scene, there's I guess one of the, I don't know if he's a general or some kind of commanding, like high-ranking commanding officer or whatever, where he goes, "Oh, where's Maverick?" And I'm like, I recognize that face.
I know who it is.
It's Adrian Pasdar. I don't know how you pronounce it. This is actually his first movie role, and he had that one scene. But people might know him more, know him better today as Nathan Petrelli
Petrelli
Mhm.
from Heroes.
from Heroes, or that one guy from
Agents of
of
S.H.I.E.L.D..
Shield.
Yep.
The
I
one
forget
guy.
his name.
The one
The one
agent
guy.
from Agents of Shield.
But
Yeah.
I noticed it right away. Hey, look, that's
Yeah, I
the guy
remember
from
you
He
Heroes.
looked
looks
it
the
up and I
same.
showed me.
Yeah, he's like Adrian Pasdar. Holy crap, he's young, but not young looking. Yeah. So fun fact. I looked this up before we wrap this up. If you actually are privileged to go to Top Gun flight school as a naval aviator, if you quote that movie at any point in time, you were imposed a fine. Like
Oh
you
my
yourself,
God.
you have to pay money for quoting that movie. That reminds me of that
Nice.
scene in Community where they go to the pottery class and they're like, I swear to God, if you reenact
No
Ghost,
ghosting.
no ghosting, if you reenact Ghost, or if you, he's like, if I swear to God, hear any note of that Righteous Brothers song, I will fail you.
So
That's-
you can't play the Need for Speed.
no
or
danger zone.
No danger
you can't
zone.
say that you have a need for speed.
No, take
no-
my breath away.
No Ghost Rider requesting a flyby.
Okay, good to know, just in case.
You
we
big
decide.
stud,
Yeah.
take me to bed or lose me forever. None of that. You
No, I'm
cannot
not gonna
quote the
join.
movie at
I'm
all.
not gonna join the.
So you
naval.
can't have Maverick or Iceman as a call sign. I'm assuming.
No, I had a friend once who was in the Navy. Recently, he told me that call signs were actually like they're not as cool as they were in Top Gun.
Hmm.
They're actually like
They probably give you like,
kinda like-
Froggy or
Well,
something.
yeah,
I mean-
like dumb quote, like dumb name versions of them. Yeah,
Well, I mean, from what I know, from
like squints, like oh, because the guy was Chinese. What? Like yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Oh, not
Yeah.
not because of the Sandlot.
Not because of the
Oh,
Sandlot.
man.
Yeah, like
'Cause
stupid
when
stuff.
I
like
hear
that.
squints, I'm like, oh, that kid's awesome.
Yeah, crosshairs. Why is it crosshair? Because he's cross-eyed. What? That's no I'm kidding. Not like that. It's not that bad, but like it's little like they were more like inside jokes rather than like
Yeah.
cool ass call signs.
yeah, because to me in aviation, a call sign is like letters and
Mhm.
numbers. That's it.
Correct. Yeah.
And you say them in in what's it called, alpha.
Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
NATO phonetic alphabet.
The phonetic alphabet.
Yeah, the NATO phonetic alphabet.
So it's not like a nickname like Maverick or Goose. It's something like
Yeah.
like
Alpha.
Alpha Tango.
Yeah. Alpha
Golf.
Bravo Charlie Delta Foxtrot.
And then like
I'll go-
9 or
I'm not gonna go
2 5 whatever.
yeah. Yeah, you have to do the whole thing. You're
Yeah.
correct. Yes, you're absolutely correct.
But is that what your Navy buddy says?
Yeah. Yeah, he
Like,
told me
it's,
about
it's
that.
strictly
Like,
just that, like whatever, like
yeah, but they had
letter
nicknames.
number.
Yeah, you could have nicknames that you would still post on your actual
yeah.
flight, your vehicle, your aircraft. So that's why you have like the cool names. Like, you go to the MCU, it's like Carol Danvers was Avenger. You're just like, was she though? They would like call her Brat because she was, a scrappy little brat the whole time. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, guys. So cultural hallmark and classic in the books for you too. Thank you so much. With that, we're gonna call that for now. Hopefully, like Anthony said, we'll get the review for Top Gun Maverick. We'll get to watch it in the format that it should be, truly experience in IMAX. That's gonna be exciting. We're looking forward to that.
Maybe 4DX.
Maybe 40X as well. Yeah, all the seats rumbling. I think we'll probably go upside down.
With wind in the hair, the whole movie probably.
Yeah, probably. There's just always
Some
no
smoke, maybe.
no. I don't think
Yeah.
wind because remember when
do
you're
have wind.
flying, when they're flying, why would you have wind in your hair if you're flying in a cockpit?
Why not?
But it's 4DX. I'm sure they'll come up with any reason to
Just
to
throw
blow
wind,
in your face. Yeah,
Ridiculous.
Have like
they'll just say
have
like, "Oh, you're in
giant-
an air wind."
have those giant fans, industrial fans that could blow like 80-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh, when
Jeez,
he's
that'd
when
be
he's
awesome.
when he's riding the motorcycle, that's
Oh, we
wind.
could do that
Right.
one.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
that makes
wind.
sense.
Or when they're playing volleyball, obviously.
And then
No, they're
we
playing
get sand.
football apparently in Maverick. It looks like
Oh,
they're
yeah?
playing
Oh.
football.
Oh, okay, because I was
Football
kind
or
of hoping
rugby
to
or
have
football?
sand thrown on me, but
Yeah, will they just throw sand on us? Let's
and like
see what's
salty water.
Maybe.
up. Uh oh.
Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe it's fresh water. I don't know.
I think a hand pops up so you can give it a high five. I think that's what will happen.
High five.
Is
All
there
right.
is there sun? Because you need some sunglasses.
I'm bringing my
There'll
sunglasses.
probably be flashes, like light flashes and smoke.
I'll bring my sunglasses, hands down.
Bring my
Fun.
aviators, yeah.
Yeah, same.